Welcome to this AI for Beginners lesson. Today, we'll dive into data and problem framing. The DNA of AI. This is a beginner-first session. No heavy jargon, no code required. Instead, we'll build intuition, correct mental models, and hands-on mini exercises you can follow along with. Here's how to use this lesson. Pause when you see an exercise prompt. Jot down notes, and keep the resource pack handy. Learning AI is not passive. It's about actively building your thinking muscle. Segment 1. What is data? What you'll learn. The different types of data. Numbers, text, images, tabular data. How schema and annotation make raw data meaningful. Why sampling errors and data leakage can break your model. Explanation. Think of data as the raw fuel of intelligence. AI doesn't think on its own. It recognizes patterns in examples. Anchor this mental model. Input pattern output. Example. Imagine you want to classify emails into work versus personal. You provide labeled examples. The AI learns boundaries and predicts unseen emails. Micro exercise. Grab a notebook. Pick a task in your life, resume screening, recipe recommendation, or even Spotify playlists. Write down its input, process, and output. Pitfalls. Overfitting. Memorizing instead of learning. Edge cases. Rare examples the AI never saw. Privacy leaks. Using sensitive info without consent. Ethics. Who might be harmed if your model misclassifies? Could bias unfairly impact a group? Do you have permission to use this dataset? Mini recap. Key terms. Input. Label. Pattern. Generalization. Segment 2. Collect. Clean and label what you'll learn. Collection strategies. Scraping, surveys, sensors. Cleaning steps. Removing duplicates, fixing errors. Labeling guidelines. Consistency, clarity, documentation. Explanation. Raw data is messy. Before modeling, you need structured, cleaned, well-labeled data. Example. Go back to the email classifier. If you label promo emails as work in some cases but personal in others, your AI gets confused. Micro exercise. Pick a dataset you encounter daily, maybe your grocery bills or workout logs. How would you collect it? How would you label it? Pitfalls. Inconsistent labels. Human errors. Collecting bias samples. Ethics. Who owns this data? Was consent given? Are you labeling in ways that could stigmatize? Quiz. If accuracy looks great on training data, but poor on new data, what's happening? Mini recap. Input label pattern generalization. Segment 3. Train/validation/test. What you'll learn. Why we split datasets. Random versus stratified splits. Avoiding leakage. Explanation. Training teaches the AI. Validation tunes it. Testing checks real-world performance. Example. Think about studying for an exam. Training is your practice problems. Validation is your mock test. Testing is the final exam. Micro exercise. Write down a task like recipe recommendation. How would you split your dataset? Pitfalls. Leakage. Accidentally letting answers slip into training. Skewed splits. Ignoring the test phase. Mini recap. Always respect the boundary. Train, validate, test separately. Segment 4. Features. What you'll learn. Turning raw data into features. Normalization and encoding. The idea of dimensionality. Explanation. Features are how AI sees the world. For emails, features might be word counts or sender domain. Example: Spotify doesn't just store song played. It stores genre, artist, time of day, location. Each a feature. Micro exercise. Pick one of your daily tasks. List 3 features you'd use to model it. Pitfalls. Too many features equal noise. Wrong encoding equal misleading patterns. Ethics. If you use sensitive features like gender or race, could predictions become discriminatory? Mini recap. Raw features patterns. Segment 5 data quality. What you'll learn. Missing values. Outliers versus true signals. Versioning mindset. Explanation. Bad data leads to bad AI. Missing values must be handled. Outliers could be noise or hidden gold. Example: imagine an e-commerce dataset. A sudden spike in purchases might be fraud or just Black Friday. Micro exercise. Look at your daily expenses. Spot an outlier. Was it an error or a valid special case? Pitfalls. Ignoring missingness. Over-cleaning and removing true signals. Mini recap. Always check quality before quantity. Segment 6 bias and representation. What you'll learn. Coverage gaps. Historical bias. Mitigation basics. Explanation. AI reflects the world it's trained on. If history is biased, so is the model. Example: a hiring dataset where past bias excluded women will repeat the bias in predictions. Micro exercise. Think of a dataset you'd use. Who might be missing from it? Pitfalls. Blind trust in historical data. Ignoring fairness metrics. Ethics. Always ask, is this model equitable? Segment 7 privacy by design. What you'll learn. Minimization. Protection. Auditing. Handling personally identifiable info. Basics of anonymization. Explanation. Privacy isn't optional. It must be designed from the start. Example: a health AI must anonymize patient names before training. Micro exercise. Pick a dataset idea. Which fields should you strip or anonymize? Mini recap. Privacy is not a patch. It's a principle. Segment 8 no-code data tools. What you'll learn. Spreadsheets plus pivot tables. Automol previews. Visualization for sanity checks. Explanation. You don't need Python to start. Google Sheets plus Automol equal powerful no-code entry point. Example: uploading a CSV into Automol to classify reviews. Micro exercise. Take any dataset you own. Visualize it in a chart. What story does it tell? Segment 9 labeling workflows 5 minutes. What you'll learn. Annotation guidelines. Inter-annotator agreement. Gold sets. Explanation. Labeling is not just grunt work. It's the foundation of trust in your AI. Example: for self-driving cars, thousands of annotators draw boxes around pedestrians. Agreement levels must be high. Micro exercise. Pick a simple dataset idea. Define a clear labeling rule. Segment 10 case study. What you'll learn. Retail churn prediction. Feature sketch. Evaluation plan. Explanation. Suppose you're building a churn model for a retail store. Input. Purchase history. Pattern. Declining frequency. Output. Churn risk. Exercise. Sketch 3 features you'd use. Ethics. Could this model unfairly target customers? Segment 11 data documentation. What you'll learn. Datasheets for datasets. Model cards. Version notes. Explanation. Datasets need documentation like software. Example: a dataset with a changelog helps avoid silent errors. Mini recap. Always write what changed, why, and how it affects downstream use. Segment 12 Action Plan 5 minutes. What you'll learn. Build a mini dataset. Document it. Share context. Micro exercise. Create your first mini dataset this week. Even 50 rows is enough. Document it and share with a peer. Final recap. We covered data types, collection, cleaning, labeling, train/validation/test, features, quality, bias, privacy, no-code workflows, case studies, action plans. Key takeaway: AI is pattern recognition powered by data. Next steps: download the free resource pack below. Subscribe to Grow Your Life with I. Comment AI if you're ready to take the next step. Your journey in AI has just begun.